When I was young, I did trampoline, but I was not very good. The community that is involved in trampoline is so good, and the culture is so good. And it doesn't matter what country you're in, it's the same.
Welcome to the Dutch Trampoline Open podcast, where we talk about our love of our beautiful sport. For this episode, let's welcome Jarrod Heriot.
First things first, could you maybe introduce yourself for the people who don't know you?
Sure. My name is Jarrod Heriot, and I'm the national coach for trampoline for Australia.
So your involvement with trampoline has been quite a few years. Can you tell us something about the start of your career?
When I was young, I did trampoline, but I was not very good. So then I started coaching, and I fell in love with coaching. So, and I've been doing that through high school. I coached trampoline, and then and have been coaching non-stop since then. But full time since about maybe 2007, 2008. I got to go full time coaching. So. I've coached in the USA. I've coached in Rockford, Illinois, just out of Chicago for a couple of years, just to go and experience that. I spent 7 years in New Zealand coaching there. So I was the New Zealand coach and moved back to Australia at the end of 2020. So I've been coaching on. My first international trip was in 1990 as a coach. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow, it's quite a lifetime already.
Yeah, has been.
So, well, it's very interesting that you've coached in different countries. Can you maybe reflect a little bit on the difference between the jobs?
When I was in the US, I was much younger, and it was all about just me learning and growing and seeing what the rest of the world was doing. So, and it was an interesting time when I was there too, because they were going through a regrowth. They had trampoline that had dropped off a lot, and they were rebuilding. So it was interesting being there during that time. And then in New Zealand, it was literally I went for 6 months just to help and stayed for 7 years. So I had some good.
How did that happen?
Well, it was good for them and good for me. I had finished up with my job in Australia, so I thought, I'll go to New Zealand, and I got to work with Dylan Smith and some other really good athletes. So and also build a program there. So after 6 months, they said, "Do you want to stay?" And I said, "Well, yeah, sure. I'm enjoying it." So yeah, and stayed for 7 years.
Wow. Well, it's amazing. You told me you weren't that good as an athlete, okay? But why did you still decide to be in the sport?
Yeah.
What was it?
I just I started coaching, and I love the coaching part as well. And trampoline, I think it's pretty unique too, because the community that is involved in trampoline is so good, and the culture is so good. And it doesn't matter what country you're in; it's the same. And it doesn't matter. So, and you would be the same. I have friends that I've known now for so many years in trampoline, and it doesn't matter whether you've seen them last week or 5 years ago. As soon as you connect with them again straight away, it's just like, they're still, everything's the same.
You share this niche love of a sport that is not that big.
Yeah.
You have a lot of similarities, of course.
Yeah. So, and for me, that's just one of the big things about being involved in this sport. So, yes, there's high level things like, you get to go to amazing events like the Olympics and things like that, but it's the friends you make and the community that you're a part of is what keeps you in it. Yeah.
Great. So, like I just said, this is a niche sport. It's quite small.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything us as a community could do to bring the sport to a higher level? And I don't mean the athletes, because the work that is being done on the trampoline is amazing, but I mean sport as a whole. Do you have any thoughts on that?
It's difficult, isn't it? Because, there's some people around the world that have tried to change the sport into their own model and try and make it more appealing to an audience.
Do you think we need that?
If we're going to survive, we need to do it. Yeah. So there are changes that we need to make to survive. And they've started to play around with the rules now and things like that to try and make it a little bit more appealing. And but we love to see perfect routines and things that are done amazingly, but that means nothing to the general public who want to see spectacular crashes and things like that, and like big skills and all that type of thing as well. But they love to see something that's a little bit dangerous and risky, right? So whereas we probably the opposite as coaches, we love to see it done.
I mean, a risk in a trampoline is not a risk in a minor injury, but it's
major.
could be really dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel the same way. I think trampoline needs to change to survive, but I almost always feel like at the same time, like you never know if you get an audience. I mean, you can change the sport, lose the essence.
Yeah.
That's also what I would not like.
Yeah.
The thing is with pleasing an audience, you don't know what they want. And
you're at the Olympics in 2024, right? And there was a packed stadium.
I was not there, but
okay.
Unfortunately,
yeah. Sorry.
There was a packed stadium.
You would have seen it like on TV, and there was a packed stadium, and it was amazing to see. Even Rio, right? It was a packed stadium. They're the two Olympics that I've been to, and that they were both full stadiums. People loved what they were watching. They couldn't understand it, but I don't know how we can get that appeal to the rest of the world, right? So that's the tricky bit. If they actually come to the events and they see the events, they go, "Oh, that was amazing!" Yeah. So,
but people always talk about making it easier to understand. Do you think that is?
I think that's I think it's that's the long game, right? But it's an education piece about you educate the audience on they don't have to know what that skill is or what its name is, but how the simple things about how the scoring works and things like that. Yeah. So, and that's really easy. You get a time for how high you jump, and that gets added to your score. And if you move on the trampoline, you get a deduction.
What always amazes me is if you're at the competition. Even last week there was a World Cup in Baku, and I saw the score at the end. It took 5 minutes.
Yes, we were watching that live. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it live as well, and I was like, okay, for an audience that is just
crazy.
It's crazy. It's 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the visual part of what you're watching, and then it's the stuff that you see on the big screen and stuff with the replays and how the scores are done. Some of the people have done, Great Britain did that really well in 2023 for World Championships that presented a show. Exactly. And that's what they need to do is present it like that as a show.
But do you feel because in other sports, it's always a lot about also the athletes, the personality of the athletes.
Yeah.
Who are you cheering for?
Yeah, and we've been thinking about what we can do for our nationals and things like that. I want to see someone on the floor with a microphone who is actually talking to the athletes when they get off the trampoline.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, those sort of things. So there's that interaction in between routines and at the end of a flight and, all that type of thing. So things that engage the audience.
Even if you look at Formula One, which is it's not comparable to trampoline, of course, but straight after qualification, they get out of the car, they get a microphone under their nose, talk about how the qualification went.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, you're just watching cars, but they support a driver, or sometimes they support a brand, but normally they support a driver.
Yeah.
It might be hard with trampoline, but I think your idea is actually really good. You just, but the language sometimes is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But for nationals, like you said, I mean, it will be very much more entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
To hear their reaction, or maybe even a coach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the coach. I mean, but some of these athletes obviously English is the one language which most of the world can talk some of. But even some of these athletes now, Ivan can speak some English and things like that. So you can, and the Chinese boys have a little bit of English and stuff like that. So you could have pre-warning about what the questions may be. So
exactly. And also with AI, I mean, you could probably live translate it.
Yes, exactly. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be. I think it's a good idea actually.
Yeah.
I think something like that, just to, because for me the most important thing is, I think the sport is lovely. I love it.
Yeah.
Of course, I would say that, but
We're biased.
yeah, I'm completely biased. But just when I'm in the gym, when I'm at a competition and I feel the weight, it's like you have to wait 2 minutes. I mean, and nothing is happening in the gym. Nothing. I would be on my phone the entire time if I didn't like the sport particularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even I get bored at competitions, like you said, waiting for the score to come up, and like crazy.
Yeah.
So technology these days is so much better that it should be.
I think the judges should be like put in the scores, and there's mark like as soon as they land, they have the score.
I think the biggest problem too is still the
difficulty.
Yeah. Those judges sometimes they don't agree, and then it takes 5 minutes for them to work out what's going on. So whereas if we can again use technology to track the skills and give the difficulty,
or give the score and have a like a VAR like football, like no, we rewatched the routine. It was not that difficulty.
Yeah.
It was but still you can go on with the next athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
We could talk all day about that.
Yeah, we could talk all day about that, and it's very interesting, of course. But what are your expectations for this competition?
It's a little bit different for all the athletes. So some of them are starting to, for our athletes or for everyone?
No, just for your athletes.
Yeah, so we're starting to try some new routines and things like that. So for us, looking at trying to step up difficulty for trampoline. And for us, it's more about just setting ourselves up for the rest of the year. So we travel a lot, and so we're using it as practice for next year. So when we start qualifying, to try and, for us this year, we're going to Europe 3 times. So back here now, come back in June for Switzerland and Portugal, and then go home, and then come back in October for Italy.
Okay.
So for us, it's about getting ready for next year in terms of what routines we want to do, what difficulty we want to do, try some different things, but also to practice our routine, as in traveling routine, for when we start Olympic qualifying.
It's all about preparation.
All about preparation.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So that's what made you decide to come to Alkmaar also.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. We've always wanted to come, even when it wasn't a World Cup, but it's a long way, and we just so
it must be expensive as well.
Yeah, and then we had to then prioritize, because a lot of the athletes fund themselves. So there's some funding available that we get from the federation, but mostly it's them paying out of their own pocket.
So that is how it's organized in Australia. And is it possible, if you're really good in Australia, to have it funded, or is it?
So we have our government, they have the Australian Institute of Sport, so our funding comes from them, and then we rank our athletes. We give them, they can be emerging athletes, which means they're on the list, but they don't get funded. So, and then there's developing athletes, and those athletes will get some funding. And then what we have is what we call podium athletes. So they can be podium potential or podium ready or on the podium. And those athletes will get, for this trip, they're fully funded. So,
okay. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's only one athlete.
Yeah, okay. But still, I mean...
It's better than, it's like some countries, right? So,
I mean, some countries have full-fledged pro athletes.
Yeah.
In other countries, they pay it by working besides their job. It's the plight of a small sport, I think. Yeah.
Buy a house or do my sport, like it's like that, right? So,
live on my own, or live with my parents and go to competitions. It's crazy, but it's the way. Yeah, but it's the passion for the sport.
That's exactly what we were talking about before, right? the love of the community and the love for this sport and the passion for this sport. So
Yeah. Do you feel like that's what keeps the athletes also in tough times, keeps them in the sport?
yeah. The family they have, that is their teammates. Yeah, is definitely something that keeps them in the sport longer. Yeah.
Thank you.